Hey everybody, this is Shock Factor 22. Now, as many of you guys know, my friend John, at Serpent 21, did a review of WrestleMania 26 and Over the Limit 2010, both pay-per-views being 2010. But John, you missed the pay-per-view, and it's a pay-per-view known as Extreme Rules, which was airing from the First Mariner Center in Baltimore, Maryland. Why does that place sound familiar? Oh, that's right. Weren't they just there when Philly was promised that we were getting TLC, but they changed it to Baltimore? Give us another fucking pay-per-view, WWE. Anyway, this match was basically the first match that starts the show is the Hart Dynasty, Show Miz, John Morrison and R-Truth, and the World's Strongest Tag Team, which was MVP and Mark Henry. There it is. And ironically, the nickname for MVP and Mark Henry was the world's strongest tag team. Now, midway through the match, I believe Miz tags in from Show. I think it might have been that. Yeah, it was that. Miz tags in from Show, or he was the legal man. The John Morrison, R-Truth, and MVP and Henry are beating the hell out of Big Show on the outside. Hart Dynasty hits the Hart Attack and pins the Miz. 1, 2, 3. Now I like that version of the Hart Attack. Tyson Kidd doing that springboard. It's really impressive. Not a bad match. There were a couple good spots. Some I can't remember though, because I haven't watched the pay-per-view in a while. But once I do get back to watching the pay-per-views again, I will actually give some of the spots. The next match was CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio. If Punk loses, Punk has his head shaved. Now, this was a way of balancing how WrestleMania had Rey, where if Rey lost, he would have to join the Straight Edge Society. Well, Extreme Rules was if Rey wins and Punk loses, Punk gets shaved. Now, a lot of 619 attempts, a lot of I believe there was one go to sleep and it didn't seal it. No, I'm trying to remember how many. I think there was actually only one go to sleep. But basically, Rey hits the 619, but a man in a mask. It ends up being Joey Mercury. Comes down and cheap shots Rey, and Punk picks him up, hits him with a go to sleep, and pins Rey. 1, 2, 3. Punk doesn't lose his hair. The next match was JTG versus Shad Gaspard in a strap match, which, as you guys know, you tie the strap around your wrist, and you have to touch the 4 turnbuckles in order to win it. Well, at the end of the match, of course, Shad is winning. JTG, they did the thing where he's secretly tagging the turnbuckles behind Shad. Shad turns around to see JTG reaching for the last turnbuckle, and he rushes at JTG, going for, I guess, like the Thugnificent, that version of the STO he has. JTG counters it with the shout out and then tags the turnbuckle. JTG wins the match. So JTG had gotten revenge on Shad for Shad basically ending Crime Time, but you get it. The next match, Jack Swagger versus Randy Orton. This was one of the suckier matches of the pay-per-view. This was where I think WWE was kind of like, can't really do nothing with this pay-per-view, so or this match. There was a good spot that I really did like where Orton was going for the RKO on Jack onto a chair like he did with Cena, but Swagger countered and Orton ended up going up. It looked like Orton hit his upper neck because actually after the match he looked like they were showing him walking away and he was holding his neck like he was actually damaged his neck. Then Swagger hits the gut wrench, slamming Orton back first onto the chair and then pinning him 1, 2, 3. So Jack Swagger retains the world title for another fucking time. Next match, Sheamus versus Triple H. Now before the pay-per-view started, Triple H was attacked in the locker room. I believe either he suffered a concussion or a broken elbow or something. Well, the EMTs say, oh, Triple H will not be able to compete tonight. But Triple H comes out and sadly has the shit, literally, well, not literally having shit kicked out, like no shit left his anus or nothing, but he got kicked the hell out of by Sheamus. He really, Triple H didn't stand. There were a couple scenes, but I knew he wasn't going to win when he went to pick Sheamus's right arm up to go for the pedigree, and he grabbed his arm, basically showing that his arm was damaged. So yeah, he lost the match. Beth Phoenix versus Michelle McCool in a extreme makeover match for the WWE Women's Championship. Now there were things like there was an ironing board, makeup, stupid, retarded stuff like that. Well, what happens is, Beth cracks Michelle in the face with the ironing board. She picks up the ironing board and smacks Michelle in the face with it. Glam slam. 1, 2, 3. Beth Phoenix, I believe she retained, or did she? Oh, she won the belt. The next match was Edge and Chris Jericho. Now this match, to me, was the match of Extreme Rules 2010. One of my favorite spots was Edge is sitting on the cage, like he's sitting there like this. Sorry for the ear rape, guys. My bad. Well, Edge is sitting there like this. He's not even, or he's not like that. Like he's sitting up against, like he's standing with his back against the cage. Jericho springboards and nails him with the code breaker. And I thought, oh man, that's really how you're gonna end the match. Well, not like that, but I was surprised, and I was double surprised that Jericho kicked out of it, or not Jericho, Edge. Then Edge, as Jericho's trying to escape, Edge starts banging Jericho's foot against the side of the cage, trying to break Jericho's Achilles tendon, as Jericho tried to do to Edge at Mania, and actually in a lot of parts of the match were a lot of those spots. But yeah, Edge hits the spear and retain or gets a little bit of a bragging right over Jericho. I believe this was the last match Edge and Jericho had against each other. I believe, well, them one-on-one. And then the main event, John Cena versus Batista. Now, but by Over the Limit, I was tired of Cena and Batista. I mean, we had a match at Elimination Chamber, which wasn't really fair. And I'm doing this from kayfabe, guys. It wasn't fair for Cena because Cena wasn't in the shape to compete. And again, it's Vince being selfish because, oh, Cena has respect for Bret Hart. No, Cena hates Vince. We get a match with them at Mania. Cena wins. and then we get the match of Extreme Rules, which is a last man standing match. Again, a lot more good spots, but the match didn't even end by like Cena putting Batista, like knocking him out. What Cena did was he taped Batista's ankles around the turnbuckle post so he couldn't stand up. Uh, That was a bit heelish, but you know it doesn't really matter because the pay-per-view was over and it didn't bother me. Best moments of the card, the Edge and Jericho match really stole the show. That had to be the star match. Punk and Mysterio was alright. Wasn't I don't like when there's a dusty finish when there's outside interference, or is it out? Is it a dusty finish or is it or a finish that involves an interference from another heel? Those are the types of finishes that make me cringe because basically I look at that like you couldn't find a better way to end the match, so you're just gonna end it with another heel coming up and sheep shotting the face. Like you couldn't think of anything. But you know, whatever. WWE's done crazy stuff in the past. The strap match was actually pretty good. Um, the strap match going in, I thought the strap match was going to be the second worst match, ahead of the Divas match. And again, even the Divas match was actually pretty good. This whole card was actually pretty good, minus the Sheamus and Triple H match. It was a 15-minute beatdown on Triple H, and that's all it was. Um, uh, and of course, I believe the match ends with either a finish where Triple H either couldn't continue or Sheamus kicked Triple H's head in. I can't remember how that pay-per-view finished. Um, the the Cena and Batista match wasn't really the match I was expecting. I was expecting Batista to like throw Batista off, or to have John Cena throw Batista off the fucking stage or something, or you know, attitude adjust him through. In oh, no, speaking of a spot, Batista actually was going to try to Batista bomb John Cena. They were in the audience above an entranceway, and Batista was actually planning to Batista bomb John Cena off of it. And throughout that bit, I was actually scared. I was thinking, "Holy shit!" If a part of me thought Cena's gonna do this, but if Batista had connected, what would have happened? Cena would have probably would have had another broken neck. He probably would have been out of action for another 10 months. And again, that WWE can change. Fuck, can never fucking do this. There we go. It can change like that. And but no, the finish was John Cena takes the coward's way out and like it was almost kind of smart that Cena, you know, duct taped Batista to the turnbuckle, and ironic that Batista is known for his punches, but he ain't known for his kicks. But yeah, this pay-per-view, if I was to give it a rating, I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. There were a couple matches that did annoy me. There weren't actually many backstage segments, but other than that, it was a pretty good pay-per-view. Um, so yeah, guys, this is Shock Factor 22, and if you guys are interested in seeing another review from me, please let me know, and I will do a review. I will look over the pay-per-view card. Well, if John doesn't do another, because I think John might be jumping pay-per-views, and if he's jumping pay-per-views, then I'll take the ones that he jumps over. So yeah, guys, this has been Shock Factor 22, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the near future. Peace.